Yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up. Watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 listen, listen, hit him, listen. This Eagles talk high. This talk Eagles. Philly bleed green. It's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them. Drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome. Our Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0. Yes, we are 3-0, man. A lot of mixed feelings about this game, but ultimately we got the W. So I'm happy about that, right? I said that this team was going to look more like the old offense, and it didn't quite, but it did in sort of a way, right? It did because we moved the ball. We did move the ball up and down the field, right? We just left a lot of meat on the bone, right? That's not to be argued with, right? I think everybody would agree there. A lot of meat was left on the bone, but we saw the offense move the ball up and down the field, especially when going to the run game, when utilizing Swifty. We even saw the passing game kind of return, not in the explosive fashion, but enough for us to have a convincing win. At no time in watching this game did I think that the Buccaneers had a chance to beat us. At no time in watching this game did I feel that, even when it was 3-0. I just didn't. I said in the pregame, I scouted this team. I watched their first two games of the year, and although I do give them credit for being well coached and winning those first two games, they played with efficiency, they played with discipline, they played within their means on offense. I gave the offensive coordinator a lot of credit for recognizing who he has at quarterback and not putting him in a position where he was asked to do more than he could do. He understood that he has Baker Mayfield, and he was not asking Baker Mayfield to do Mayfield-like things. So that was smart on his part. And in the same breath, I think Baker Mayfield is the hindrance on this offense not being able to be more explosive, because they have weapons, right? But you can't ask Baker Mayfield to be Aaron Rodgers. You just can't do it. So so for what he has, I think he calls a very efficient game plan for the offense. And today, that just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Our defense is solid. Our defense is solid. And as they have done in the previous two games, they played a big part in helping carry us to a win here. Offense did their job. They put up 25 points. They did their job. It could have easily been 35 points, very easily. Like I said, left a lot of meat on the bones there. But they got the job done. They moved the ball quite efficiently, kind of stalled out on some drives. Jalen turned the ball over 2 times when we were threatening to score again. That kind of held us back, and if not counting those 2 interceptions and the failed drive on the first drive of the game, we could have easily put up another 14, maybe even 21 points. But to be realistic, it could have easily been 35-11. Easily been 35-11. So 25-11 is not bad. And with the amount of offense that we racked up to, over 400 yards of offense, almost 200 yards on the ground again, our leading rusher, Swift, did it again. Had a very effective game on the ground. And how can you be mad at that? All right, let me go to some comments right here. Milton Maloney says Eagles win 3-0. You're right. Miss Sandlin, where's your husband? He said he couldn't make it. And I guess he was true to his word because he's not here. Okay, Brandon Ware says, let's freaking go 3-0. JT, he watched it with me on YouTube. Yeah, bank 3-0. And yo, that was the first time we ever did the play-by-play on YouTube. You guys missed it. First of all, I'm him. I'm him. Yeah, I've always had. I'm like Dion. I've always had confidence in myself, and I'm going to say it right now. I'm him. I just did a full game of play-by-play, watching it with the other Eagles fans on YouTube. And then it's something that we're going to continue to do. So you've got to come watch the game with us. To ask JT, you tell me, was it enjoyable? Did I do an okay job? Let me know. Let me know. I can take the truth. But we had a lot of fun over there. So I have been on air nonstop since pregame to now. Right before this, I shut down the play-by-play and came over to do this. And as you can see, I'm solo. I thought I was going to have at least one co-host, but you guys tell me if I did a good job there on YouTube. And if so, make sure you come over because we're going to do this every week. We're going to watch the game together. I'm going to do the play-by-play only the way that Dark Knight can do it, right? I've had a couple. I had a couple of. They were calling me Dark Nostradamus over there because I was calling plays before they happened. I called the interception before the halftime. I said it'd be great if we get an interception to get the ball back. Boom, we got an interception, got the ball back. I was like, we're going to get a safety right here. Boom, we got a safety right there. I was like the Dark Nostradamus over there. So we come away with the win, and that's the most important thing of the night. James, were you watching over there on the other one? I didn't see any comments, but the D was dominating the whole game. Once the O catches up, we will be unstoppable again. And that was more reminiscent like last year. I said the offense was going to look like last year starting tonight. Well, they did, not in the explosive sense, but in the sense that we provided enough offense and we left the game feeling like we still haven't played our best game. We still haven't put it all together yet. And that is like last year's offense early in the season. That's exactly how it was. We were putting up points and we left those early games feeling like, yo, we dominated and we still had and we still could have played better. And that's the feeling tonight. We dominated and we could have still played better. Yeah, I mean that we gave up the late touchdown or whatever, but it was. All right. You hosted the game tonight.
I've been here for like 10 minutes. Like, yo, I'm in the back chat. Let me in. I just put on the post. Let me in.
All right, see, I just now seen.
Yeah, because you was busy. I said, and I called it. Let me tell you what I called. I think Troy Aikman listens to this show and listens to what I have to say sometimes. We talk about Brian Johnson needing to get his rhythm and find his rhythm as an OC. He talked about that. He talked about how this offense has all these different weapons to beat you, and they're not even fully clicking now, and you should be scared. And, even on Jalen's second pick, props to Tampa Bay because that dude jumped from outer space. I thought that was a touchdown. Even Devontae Smith was like, "Where he come from?"
Yeah,
he earned his lunch money. You can't take nothing from Jalen. You can't take nothing from Devontae. Perfect ball, perfect play on the ball. Mm-hmm. That dude must have jumped about 2 feet above him. That's a highlight. Yeah. That was a highlight. There was nothing anybody could do. He wanted it more than everybody else on that field at that time.
True that. And I think the offense played a lot better, left a lot of meat on the bones, but the way they moved the ball up and down the
with
field.
All of our players.
Right.
Goddard, Stoll.
Yeah.
Everybody got involved. Devontae could have got involved a little bit more, but everybody was involved. AJ can shut up now,
Yeah. Everybody got fed.
Yep.
Swift even got fed.
Yep.
They still they still gave me too much Gainwell at the end, but we had the game sewn up, so I guess I didn't mind it too much. But I pointed out in the first half, and you saw these 2 runs by Swifty, right? And I'm like, I'm going to be Captain Obvious here, but when you run a play here and he runs through a wide open hole, and then you run it to the right side. He runs through a wide. That to me, that seems like plays that we should call a lot of, right? I mean, like I don't know. Maybe I'm being, but like when you see the guy running through holes and getting like over 10 yards, like those seem like plays that work to me. I don't know. Like let's do that again.
I didn't even realize till halftime that it was raining. I was like, oh, it's raining there. I was like, I need to put my glasses on.
So yes, our offense has. I'm still impressed because we moved the ball quite freely. I mean,
he did. We said we got to execute.
We didn't score. It wasn't like they stopped us. The times that we didn't score, we stopped ourselves. They didn't stop us. You know, and so that part, I'm really
It was 9 minutes left in the fourth, and we was getting the ball back. 25-11. I was like, well, we just gonna hold the ball. What we do.
Yep. we held it all the way. And
I know people's like, oh, they score. Well, listen, if you don't know this team, no Sirianni will hold that ball for 9 minutes and walk off that field and piss you off. Just won't give it back to you.
Yeah.
That's a whole strategy that we have on lock right now to be able to keep the ball for 8-9 minutes and say peace. We're not even going to give you a chance to score. You could have scored 2-3 times in 9 minutes. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
I agree, man. It was a great win. It was very close to last year. Like when we talk about dominating a team and still not having played our best ball. You know, and that was a dominating win, and still we didn't play our best ball. That's what, and we talked about it last year. This is what the league needs to be on notice of. We're winning 25-11 over what they consider, what the experts were telling me, because I didn't believe it. I watched it, but the experts were telling me that this would be a good test for us. That's what the experts were telling me before this game. They're 2-0, we're 2-0. This should be a good test for the Eagles. Yo, this was like, no, this was not this
was like a scrimmage.
Yeah, that was like
we was like working out some kinks and whatnot. You know what I mean? That's what I felt like. Like our defense, they're scary.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I need the secondary to get better, but Pat was right. Shout out to Pat. Won and lost in the trenches, and then they repeated that on post game right now. You know, Ron Jaworski and the crew. So they said shout out to Howie for putting together our trench players because our lines are sick.
And look, and we're not even bringing a lot of. I did see that one package that really had me drooling out there because I've been waiting to see this with I call it the NASCAR, but Hassan Reddick was on one end, Nolan Smith was on the other end, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and the boys was in the middle. And they went, and I'm like, yo, that is a scary scene right there. But we got a lot of pressure with only our front four. Like, and that's impressive too. Like, we didn't have to send any blitzes or anything like that. And that's what's really scary because those guys, man, those two young boys in the middle, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are a problem. They are a
major problem.
They are a problem. And then they give. And then they give, I can call him Grandpa now because he's the oldest guy now, but then they give Grandpa time to rest and come in all fresh, and then he do his thing. Fletcher Cox, I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Fletch. You just stop calling him Grandpa. He's like the same age as my oldest.
I'm saying, but amongst the young boys, he's like, you know what I mean, the elder in the room, and they give him a chance to just, rest up. All right, come on there, Fletch. You can get some of this too. And it's a beautiful thing to see, man. The defense is definitely way ahead of schedule, in my opinion, than the offense. But the offense is quickly getting it together, and it's just a matter of taking advantage of. We were inside the 20 a lot of times. We were inside the 20 a lot of times.
That's what the first thing he said is posting. He's like, yeah, he was like, we can move the ball when we want. We just got to execute in the red zone, like
right.
But hey, like I said, where were we last year? We was only scoring in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just saying. Now we're scoring, but we're not scoring. Our high flying game ain't fully there yet.
Right.
But
yeah,
it's getting there. And y'all, I think Swift played plenty. Y'all got to remember, we have to keep him all season.
Yeah,
so I think we peppered in Gainwell just enough to give Swift some fresh legs. Come on. People were yelling like Swift didn't play. He was the featured back this game. He can't be the only back all game. We don't have our three-headed monster this game. We didn't have Boston Scott. So yeah, we needed to pepper in Gainwell so Swift could have the runs that he had. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm just a little excited, man.
They were trying to break him. Y'all saw what they were doing to them. They was pulling at that little boy's legs. They were trying to bend him in half. Come on. Stop.
Yeah, you're right.
Y'all
you're
know
absolutely
they
right.
were trying to break him. Y'all know that we were playing with fire, trying to run him on every single down.
Yeah, and then that's a great point you just made. I agree. I can see. That was unrealistic for me. But you see a guy having that much success, you just want to see him continue to do it. But he does have a history of not finishing the year the past few years, so it does bode well for us to limit his carries and when he's effective, use him. And then when we can get away with running Gainwell and preserving him, that's a better strategy than what I had in my mind. Yeah, I'm spoiled
for the year. Yeah, no, I want Swift for Super Bowl.
Right, me too. I want to see him the full year. So yeah, if they're preserving him by letting Gainwell take some of those carries, achieves that purpose, then yeah, let's do that. Sirianni, hats off to you. Brian Johnson, hats off to you also for calling a great game. And you saw the adjustments where they were, Bowles tried to duplicate or imitate those defenses of the past 2 weeks that we faced, but we had answers this time. We had answers from what we saw. And that is the adjustment that you wanted to see from this brain trust. And we saw it, and I'm impressed. And, I have to take my hats off to Sirianni and Brian Johnson for scheming and getting A.J. Brown loose and Goddard with his catches, Stoll dropped one. But, you saw that they had schemed something to take advantage of what they were seeing the past 2 weeks. And that's
right. And Jalen had 200. He was 23 for 37, 277 yards, 1 TD, and 2 interceptions in the air. I will give him fault for number one, even though that was both him and his receiver not being on the same page. The second one, he was getting it picked.
That boy just made an outstanding cut. He made an outstanding play right there.
I was mad. I was like, oh, Todd Bowles got that off. I know that player. He getting his lunch paid for like the next week.
I was like, where he come from? Where he come from? Like,
even Devontae Smith, like, that was my ball. Like, he jumped over behind his shoulder. So he didn't even, it was too late. It was too late. He had no idea that boy was going to jump to Mars to go get the ball.
Yeah, so I think we look closer to being one of the top teams in the league, and even not having the best game, we still, I think, cemented a spot in the top 5 in the league.
Period.
Because that wasn't our best game.
Period.
And we still dominated. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't our best game. That we have a lot more than that to offer, and it still was domination. Still, we could have scored. Actually, if we would really wanted to be in the 30s, we could have scored on that last.
Listen, from the rip, if things was just executing in the red zone, we might have had the score that Chef called out.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
We left that much meat on the bones that we could have easily broke 40.
Easily. So I'm encouraged, man. I
am encouraged. You want me to give you some more stats for the game?
Yes, I like
DeAndre Swift, 16 carries, 130 yards, averaging 8.1 yards a carry, bitches. Long run 29. Gainwell, 14 carries, 43 yards, averaging 3.1. Jalen Hurts, 10 carries, 28 yards, averaging 2.8. So we got 201 yards on the ground. So yeah, I think that's a pretty well balanced game. 200 yards running, 271 yards passing, 472 yards of total offense. I think we okay, y'all.
Yeah, we all right, guys. Everybody, call off.
Calm down. Calm
down. RELAX. Okay, just relax. We got this.
Chill.
We got
Take a
this.
chill pill. Take a
And
chill
next
pill.
week, we have a division rivalry against the Commanders. I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves. We're going to enjoy this one tonight. We're going to even talk about it on our upcoming show on Thursday, and then we'll get ready for the Commanders. But the Commanders, I think, had a reality check, and I think we're going to continue to give them one. Continue that reality check next Sunday as they come into the link. They come to us.
Yeah,
Saturday,
we played them twice in this next 6-game stretch, I believe.
Yeah,
within that, and to be honest with you, out of these next several games, other than Miami, I'm not pretty stressed. But back to more stats.
Yeah,
AJ Brown had 9 receptions and 131 yards, average 14.6. He didn't get no TDs though, so I'm sure he's mad about that.
Well, he dropped one. I guess not. He dropped it.
I hope Jalen calls him up, be like, "You wanted the ball and you dropped it, bro, and you dropped it." But shout out to Olamide Zaccheaus.
Yeah.
Okay. It's stepping up there. He had 2 receptions, 58 yards. He was averaging 29. So he got all the long balls today and 1 TD. Dallas Goedert, 5 receptions for 41 yards. Devontae Smith had 4 for 28. Swift had 1, and Jack Stoll and Gainwell had a catch. For that 277 passing yards of offense.
Yeah, I had missed Chef is saying great show of growth, great win. I agree. Here's my the loyal followers that watched the game with me on YouTube. Ed Clinton was on there. He was there the whole game with me. 2 touchdowns, 3 field goals, and a safety. Mrs. Jones was on YouTube, watched the game with me the whole time. I'm happy with the win, just like with our children. We love them, we encourage them, we believe in them as they achieve beyond their wildest dreams, one game at a time, one play at a time.
That's right. Yes. That's right, Miss Pam.
Who else was there? Anybody else was there? There was a couple of names I didn't recognize, but yeah,
that's right.
I was up to 20-something people.
Okay.
At one point, watching the game.
You had your little watch party, Dante.
Yeah.
I was in here screaming at my TV with my son.
Yeah, JT was there too for a little while. I think JT might have signed out because I was a little ahead of him. Ed, I was like maybe 6 seconds ahead of Ed, but Ed sticked around the whole time. He sticked around, and I actually showed the game too.
And our defense scored crazy fantasy points, by the way.
Oh yeah,
we had 2 sacks, 29 solo tackles, a lot of chipping. Reed Blankenship leading the way.
Yo, they just showed it again. All right, so I talked about this in the game. So Jalen Carter comes up behind the running back, causes the forced fumble, slapped it out of his hand. Then the boy tried to get up. Yeah, he just picked. He almost hit him like the hawk with one arm, like, bow, get out of here. Like, yo, you will not be getting this fumble. Yo, I said, yo, that was so fun. I said, yo, yes. I said, man, he's violent. I said, yo.
Totally violent. Totally violent.
Yeah, that boy, they showed the interception. Yeah, that was incredible.
Totally violent.
Yo, where did you come from? Like, geez. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so good win. Good win. I was almost close with my little 32-12, except we just held the ball for 9 minutes instead of scoring.
Oh, here you go, Clay. He said, I only raised the volume doing commercials. DK spoiled too many plays because I was ahead of him. So,
don't you hate when you're watching with people that are like a little edge? You're off by a couple seconds, or you're more ahead of them.
Yeah, James said, I didn't know you were up on YouTube doing it. Yeah, and then we're going to do that. I'm going to do that. I had a lot of fun, so I'm going to do that.
That's what's
do the play-by-play on YouTube while the game is on. So you can watch it. We can watch it together. We had a good time over there doing just that. The only thing is that, I still got to get my damn game snacks in. So y'all got to deal with me like at halftime. I took a break. I had to go get my food. I was like, yo, I got to eat. So I ate at halftime. But we had a good time. That's
what's up. I hope you all had a good time watching your game. The chat was lit. I got into the chat, so that's what's up.
All right, guys, we're not gonna keep you long. I got to go to work tomorrow. So
yep, we all do. So fly, Eagles,
all right.
fly.
I'm glad that this was an early game because this is a good time for me to go to bed, and it's not like 12 and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I hope you guys enjoyed. It's gonna be a great night of sleep. You'll be able to turn on sports talk and all the shows tomorrow and listen as they hopefully give the praise that we gave our team because we like what we've seen. We know there's a lot more that we can do to be in midseason form, but for 3 games into the season, I like where we are. So you guys have a great night. We'll see you back here in a couple of nights, like in a few nights. On Thursday, upon further review. So, and for Pat in his absence and Michelle for staying up with us, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see y'all on Thursday. We're out. Peace.
We go live in 5.